Come in, mate. It's dog time.
Hello. Give me some dirt.
Mate, I can see there's a bit of hormone fluctuation happening in the front row already.
It's called the John Mayer effect.
There's nobody there.
What do you want? Some dirt? Sorry.
Give me some dirt.
All right, here you go. What does VHT stand for?
Brett, I'm going to assume you know the answer.
I have no idea.
Well, very hot tones.
Yes,
Okay,
I like
okay.
it.
Yeah.
That'll be good. And D for Dumble. An ode to Dumble, do you think?
I think it might be.
So the VHT D-Fifty, their version, their take on the famous Dumble Amplifiers overdrive special.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it has an overdrive because it has an overdrive channel.
Well,
it is the
I don't know that, but the layout and the topology looks vaguely the same, and we've also got a preamp bypass switch on the rear here, which a lot of the overdrive specials featured, although they were all built separately and independently for the specific artist. So he used to voice them. He used to sit there and listen to any given guitar player and say, right, well, I think this is what you need, and then he would build, say, an overdrive special with specific tone qualities to suit that player.
I remember a very famous interview with Kenny Wayne Shepherd saying that Dumble got in touch with him and famously had a session with him where he just sat there and watched Kenny play, just watched him go to town basically.
Yeah, get into his mindset and create something.
Yeah, with an open chassis, he said, go away, starts working on it again, comes back again, starts playing again, go away, starts, changing things and came up with
Kenny's
those
amp,
specific players.
which he probably still owns.
Probably, yeah,
No doubt.
yeah. I think there's only like 300 or something in existence that they know of, somewhere around there. And if you have, let's say, another 3 zeros on 300, you might be able to afford one of them. But the way that I tend to think about it is they are often based on a model, and then they have their mods, whatever players mods done to whatever,
Sure.
Every time I hear someone talk about Dumble amps, any other videos I've watched on Dumble amps, they talk about them being a very full frequency. There's no hiding. Like you're gonna in a band mix, you're gonna be heard. You better have a good night, otherwise the next 3 towns are gonna know that you're a shit player. Exactly.
Yeah, there are things specific to a Dumble kind of sound that.
It's mids, Brett. You can say it's mids.
It's mids, and I hate using this word, but it's a kind of a chewy transience, which gives it a kind of a front end compression over that initial transience.
honky, chewy,
Honky, and honky's good in a mix because it's going to cut.
You're
through.
gonna be heard. Yeah.
Very midi.
They're actually a match made in heaven.
See, nothing wrong with that.
When I hear that, I feel like we should be goosing it with a tube screamer. I feel like that's where that
That
would
would certainly work. Yeah.
Well, we could do that, but it has a channel switch
don't
here
need
to switch in the overdrive, which is on the rear. You can't see it, but you've got a drive control and you've got a level control. So you've got almost so many mids. It's almost like a cocked wire, right?
It is.
Which
Straight
is probably
away.
played with a Tweed Deluxe and a Telecaster. But it's kind of there, isn't
Well,
Well, yeah, that sounds like 60 years. That sounds like before I was born.
it? Yeah.
In the best possible
Well,
way.
with this unique set of tonal controls that are in the preamp here,
Yeah.
this is also worth pointing out that that's with the mid switch down.
Down.
That's
So can
Correct.
we just hear something along the lines of what you were just playing, Brett, with the mid switch up to get a real
Yeah, so
honky version?
here's our overdrive channel board in again. So it's almost pushing about, I'm guessing about 700, 800 hertz, right? And giving it maybe 6 dB of shove. Boston shove.
It's so interesting to me, just as a sound guy, as a someone who's just kind of obsessed with tone, that you can have a sound like that and play something, and I can think that's not for me at all. But then you can move up the neck and play something else, and I'm like, oh, that's that sound.
That's the sound.
That is the sound.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting to tune in to what this Dumble thing is a bit, I think. Here.
Yeah.
We should also mention that this is from their hand wired series as well. So this is an affordable hand wired series from VHT.
Yeah, so VHT, traditionally an American company who these days are manufacturing out of Asia, but uniquely in Asia are hand wiring these amps. These things are point-to-point wired, and they have a whole series of this stuff. And I think it's fair to say the D-Fifty is kind of at the top end.
Definitely,
Of that,
it absolutely is.
line.
And they say in their blurb that they call it their mod-friendly eyelet board, and they encourage mods. And it's interesting because when I did have a read through some of the forums on this amp, and they actually say, a lot of people say that it's only a few tweaks, a few differences away from being a very authentic Dumble.
Real thing.
Now I'm assuming you kind of, when you read that, you kind of go, why didn't they just do that? But I'm assuming it comes down to parts and availability and what's available for mass production and that kind of thing. But I did think that was interesting, the fact that they marketed it as being a mod-friendly board in there.
Definitely is, because that's not
which is very cool.
And of course, it's subject to whatever speakers you choose to pair it
So
with as
VHT
well.
have their own, I think they just call them chronebacks in there.
Yep.
While they sound great, because I couldn't be bothered moving the cab as well, I hooked this up to one of my own cabs that had greenbacks in it. My God.
I noticed a
sounded
significant
phenomenal.
difference.
Yeah.
interesting. All right.
There you go. So let's have a listen to it with a Strat through a few of these channel changes.
Yeah, let's hear
while
some
I-
different voicings.
Mr. Wheeler do a Mr. Mayo.
I might add. That's almost blasphemous in this store.
So we're on clean channel now. The preamp bypass is not bypassed. This is just straight up, and we've got all the tones at about 12 o'clock.
I actually don't know if I can do a Mayo.
That sounds pretty bloody good, don't you think?
I was about to say, I thought you already had it on.
No.
Those means are full on. Jazz.
Jazz tames it down quite enough, but with a bit more width. Now, there's a little switch on the back here that says PAB, which I'm assuming is preamp bypass. So it's bypassing the tone stacks and sending this straight into that. And it sounds like
so it's bypassing the
tone
entire
stack,
EQ
just the
section.
tone stack.
Right.
Which should mean, typically means a bit of a
It'll be
boost,
louder
yeah.
and grunty.
Is that on now? That's on now?
It's on now.
Okay.
That's a good amp. It would make the perfect pedal platform.
Yeah, very good. Clearly very high headroom in that clean channel.
Yeah, and it's got plenty of volume.
Heaps.
Very-
We're on like what, 3 or 4 there now.
Yeah.
So
Very
pressing
responsive
straight
to
up.
the volume.
I don't want to click Pro Tools, so we'll just leave it there.
Let's leave it there. Yeah.
But I can tell you, it's probably good 95 dB in here, maybe 100.
That's all volume control response.
Dynamics. Approved.
Seriously, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Last I heard, there's not many in the country. They're a little bit scarce at the moment, but they are incoming, so soon enough.
Well, there's one here.
Well, there is one here. We're lucky like
Literally one only.
that. But however, they'll be in your local store soon enough. So, keep an eye out and go and have a listen. If that's your vibe, if you're into those classic tones.
If
this
you're
amp
into
certainly does it.
being heard in a big way, if you have a complex band mix and you need to be heard and you're having trouble standing out, a Dumble circuit is going to do it.
As always, the Rabid Dogs are shot at Nepean Music Centre in Mornington, Victoria, and brought to you by Pure Salem Guitar.